just how's the week been? How the guys responded this week?
Good. It's been consistent. It's just like the other weeks, and we've tried to put them in more situational pressure, critical moments that I think is costing us, winning games. And I've called around to coaching friends, because it's really, I've never quite dealt with it like this, where it feels like so many times, obviously, we get some tough breaks, but we still have chances to win games. And you've got to make those plays on third down or fourth down on offense and defense. And it seems like in the fourth quarter, when that pressure gets on, we play tight. And so we've tried to create more of that. But their response has been what I expected and proud of.
And reaching out to coaching friends, you mentioned, what kind of advice did you get from them about
all
the
of them
situation?
are like, man, I wish I knew. We've watched your games, because we're friends that I reach out to, and you're like, man, we can't just believe, that you haven't won some of those. And I said, I know, I feel it, and it sucks and it stinks. And most of them, just like what we did, just try to put them in as many situations, and and encourage them to play free. And but it's really baffling, truthfully, to see us make some of those mistakes that you can turn the film back on the same call against the same schemes, and it was executed properly, earlier in the game. So just trying to create more of those and give them more confidence that they'll make it the next time.
You're counting on Omar to be the number 2 running back now, and how's his work been? How about his pass block?
He's fired up. He's pass pro. He's looked good. And, he's physical enough to do it. It's just when they get in all these different looks that you get on third down now with all the mug looks, and he's got to be on the same page with the O-line, and he's come a long way, and Justin's done a good job also, and so, but you got to have that for sure, because he's a big piece of that pass protection.
What's going on with Bryce Diaz, and then Brandon and Champ are also listening to this question?
I think Bryce is, I would say he's doubtful. I don't ever look at those, and we don't try to play games with them. I don't see Bryce going. The other two, I think, will try.
What's kind of going on with Bryce?
Bryce had a concussion, so he's been in concussion protocol. The other two, I think Champ's he'll give it a go. B. Frazier's going to certainly try. He's really struggling with he's got a lower back that's, but he'll play through that. I think it's more the ankle than anything. Can he push off and do what you have to do at tight end against 2 big physical defensive ends that are playing? Can his ankle really hold up in that?
Can you talk about the defense a little bit? Just they're obviously hanging in there, keeping you guys in some ball games, and I guess maybe the mental part of seeing the offense struggle a little bit, but knowing they got their own job to do, just the dynamic of how they've played, I guess.
Yeah, we had some good conversations. We're a team, and and I love DJ and that staff's approach, and the facts are, we could have held them to 3 points, but offense has got to produce more points the way they're playing. So it's they just got to keep doing what they're doing, man. If they keep doing that, we're going to get over the hump eventually, and then I think the confidence grows. But there's no question that's something you have to talk about, because it's real. And I'm sure we're not the first team to go through it where one side for 3 games has played well enough for you to win, and the other side has not made enough plays to win. And we've had some plays there that make a huge difference. If you just, 1 inch off on the throw, one more half a second in protection, a better throw on third down to, I think if that we only had 4 possessions, the second half, and you have some critical downs there. We got Eric running wide open that could have been a huge play, maybe a touchdown. And then we had 2 third downs where, Perry breaks open on a good cut and we bounce it to him, and the same ball was thrown in the first half right on the money. And But you talk about those things openly with them, and they've responded well and know they've got a job to do, and I expect they'll continue to do it. I think this team's really talented. I really do, that we're playing, and I think they're up there with the best that we've played, so it's going to be another great challenge for our kids, and probably the best running back. I think he's got like 600 yards post-contact, so we've got to do a great job winning first down and getting him on the ground.
The intermediate routes, 10, 12, 15, 20 yards, not hitting a lot of those in this offense. Is that just a function of not executing, that don't have the personnel to do it?
No, we got the personnel for sure. We're trying to make sure, we stay on schedule last week and not do anything to put us behind the chains, and it worked beautifully. And then, you take your shots when you get them, and, we didn't take many, didn't have to in the first half. Second half, obviously, we had one that was wide open, and you got to hit those. But we just want to make sure we're staying on schedule. Really, it's not. Maybe we need to be more aggressive in the play calling with the guys we have, but we got to make sure our quarterback feels comfortable with what's being called to get the ball out of his hands.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Yep.